And this Islamic law, if I must tell you the truth, is one of the major reasons why, is the major reason responsible for the backwardness of the North. Yes. And why is it in those?
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, an angry Hausa man has finally said what many people have been too scared to say out loud. And trust me, this one will shake you. He boldly declared that Sharia law, yes, the same Islamic law recognized in the Nigerian constitution, is one of the major reasons for the backwardness of the North. According to him, what people call Sharia today is simply Islamic law, and it is holding the North down politically, socially, and even mentally. He didn't stop there. He said the system keeps growing because it is constitutionally protected, meaning they have the legal right to practice it. But if that is the case, he asked a very serious question: why not also allow Christian law, Babalawo law, and even atheist law if we truly want fairness in the country? He said Nigerians were never Muslims or Christians by origin. This religion came through foreign invaders. So why are we now enslaved by belief systems that divide us? He questioned why a supposedly liberal constitution now bends toward one religious direction while ignoring others. Then he hit harder. He said if we must run a belief system, then everyone should have the right to practice theirs freely. If Sharia can exist, then why can't others? But if Nigeria truly wants to be a liberal state, then religion should stay private, not something that controls government, education, and people's lives. His voice became more emotional when he mentioned the real cause of this system: the unaliving, the intolerance, the poverty. He said there are radical preachers in the North teaching that anyone who doesn't share their belief is an infidel, and that kind of thinking has fueled countless tragedies. He also accused politicians of capitalizing on religion to divide the people and win elections. According to him, the same leaders who claim to defend religion are the ones benefiting from the suffering of the masses. Meanwhile, ordinary people are trapped in poverty, illiteracy, and fear, all in the name of religion. He even linked it to the Muslim ticket, saying the government isn't doing anything because it benefits from the chaos. He described it as madness and warned that unless Nigeria stops this madness, it will only get worse. In his words, we either stop this madness completely or we promote it fully until it consumes everyone, because right now Nigeria is stuck in the middle, confused about what kind of system it truly runs. And the most painful part, he said, is that developed countries don't mix religion with governance. They see belief as personal, not something that should dictate national law or policy. But here in Nigeria, belief has become law and law has become belief. He ended emotionally, almost shouting, "Let's stop this madness before it destroys us all." Guys, I would like to watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
What we term as Sharia law today in the country is just purely nothing but Islamic law, right? And this Islamic law, if I must tell you the truth, is one of the major reasons why, is the major reason responsible for the backwardness of the North. Yes. And why is it in those? Why is it supported? Why is it growing? Because it's recognized by the constitution that they have the right to practice that. So I think in the spirit of balancing, there is need for Christian law as well. When you talk of Christian law now, we will now be talking about when Moses said that it's an offense for a woman to cook for her husband when she's menstruating. That is to say, any woman that cooks for her husband when menstruating should be arrested, and a lot of other funny variables. But why is it that the constitution that is supposed to be liberal in nature is now considering a particular? And don't ask me a question in regards whether it's our belief, it's our culture. There's nothing like belief in culture. There's nothing like belief and culture, because let's take it, all these religions are alien to Nigeria. Nigerians were never Christians or Muslims naturally. They are Christians and Muslims by virtue of invaders, people that brought all these things. So in the spirit of fairness and whatever now, we decided to embrace the constitution that reflects liberality. That is to say, irrespective of your religion or your cultural affiliation, whether Babalawo or whatever, you should be equally considered, as long as you don't harm the next person. So that is to say, if in the spirit of fairness, The Babalawo must be respected. It should be able to be allowed to practice the law as allowed by his own belief and whatever. Are we running a belief system or a liberal system? And that is the reason for the backwardness. Are we going to be talking about al-majiris? Are we going to be talking about any marriage that is evident in the north and everywhere? Are we going to be talking about protest is a sin, protest is haram? Are we going to be talking about radical scholars that comes and tell you that anybody that doesn't believe in your religion is an infidel and a lot of other variables? Are we going to be talking about people that have been unalive on the basis that they are not of the same religious belief as you? And all this madness. But what the politicians have succeeded in doing is they have succeeded in capitalizing on all these things that divide us, and at the end of the day they are benefiting on all this, and the masses are not benefiting. So seriously, let's tell ourselves the truth. It's either we stop this madness or promote or propagate this madness equally. If there's Sharia law, there must be Christian law, there must be Babalawo law, there must be atheist law. And these things must be practiced according to their belief. Sure, we are operating on belief system now. Are we supposed to be operating on belief system? And the next time when somebody comes out to talk now, they say you are a fanatic, you are a religious fanatic, or you whatever. Look at the inception of all these radical elements, Boko Haram and the rest of it. Where are they getting their origin? They believe death is supreme and must be practiced. And if it's not practiced, that means the whole world must go on fire. That is just it. What are we doing to ourselves? Let's stop this madness, or let's promote this madness to its full proportion. Because the last time I checked, at least there are some countries now that have adopted this thing fully, and that is what is working for them. But in regards to we now, we're just left in between. We don't know where we are going. This part is talking about progress, democracy, or whatever. This other part is talking about, no, there is need for us to protect our religion until everybody converts to our religion. Everybody that doesn't see things our way or doesn't convert to our religion is an unbeliever. What madness is this? And the politicians are capitalizing on this. And it's resulting to illiteracy, it's resulting to high rate of poverty, and it's resulting to a lot of other variables. But the federal government, the government is silent in this regard, because they have actually identified that as a tool to win the next election. Just like what we have in the Muslim ticket. I'm not saying this because I'm a fanatic or whatever. I have a lot of friends that are of opposite belief or whatever, that don't even believe in nothing. But we are good. So let's stop this madness that is engulfing everybody. It's not going to take anybody anywhere. Check it everywhere. All the developed nations, they don't have any provision or any rule or any constitution that endorse personal belief. They call it, why do they call it belief? They call it belief, but because it's personal. Personal. It must not affect everybody for you to be able to
In the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, a Christian property owner in a viral video alleged that the Sharia Court of Appeal seized and auctioned his shop to recover a tenant's unpaid debt, despite his possession of title deeds and the tenant's goods remaining inside. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has sparked widespread debate about jurisdictional overreach. Well, let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor gun. Said they are for Sharia Court of Appeal that they are cheap litigation, and she did this has auctioned my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this shop in 2012 for our rent. Their first shopping number. I rent one to somebody. They said that person in the shop is showing their credit. I told the person owner, why don't you pack his goods? That the goods in that shop. They know nothing about the goods. They say what they know is they want to take that shop. I And then they decided to come to the court and tell me I'm the owner of the shop. I go there. Even though I'm a Christian, I thought I watch a Christian go to Sharia court. They say I must come. If I'm the owner, then they will give me my shop and take all the documents to them. Even when I read there, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I was shop the shop, that they are being handed over because I'm a Christian, because I'm Igbo, they collect my shop, Sharia court. Even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia court? Don't help me, oh, don't help me, oh, don't help me, oh, Nigeria help me, oh, my life finish, oh, my life finish, oh, my life finish, oh, I do that nothing, oh.
So sad. You know, some legal experts have argued that this represents a clear overreach of Sharia court jurisdiction, as the property owner is a Christian and the matter involves a commercial tenancy dispute rather than Islamic personal law. The 1999 Constitution explicitly restricts Sharia courts to matters of Islamic personal law where all parties are Muslim and have consented to the court's jurisdiction. We're yet to receive an official response from judicial authorities on this matter. Ayo.
So this is a note of warning. This incident is a red flag. I say this because, OG, you have already explained the constitutional provision for Sharia Appellate Court in Abuja. I'm sure a number of people did not even know that Sharia Court Appellate Court operates in the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, that is supposed to be a mixed hub of people from different from different states, different ethnicities, different religious persuasions to live together in the Federal Capital Territory. To now see, as you already mentioned, the overreach of the Sharia court. The first instance is that I believe that it's high time for us as a nation to revisit this Sharia court provision. Because if we're saying that Nigeria is a secular state as stipulated in the Constitution, why do we have a court that is Islamic in its foundation, in the way it dispenses justice? And then when you talk about judicial or jurisdiction overreach, we see that it's a personal matter. So Sharia court, appellate court is meant to deal with issues around marriage and family, estate and succession, capacity, mutual consent. So matters, civil matters like that. And like you said, emphasis on all parties must be Muslim. When they begin to now interfere in matters that have to do with Christians and Muslims, then we have a problem. But that's what happens in life. Once you give an inch, you will take a mile. And that's why I'm saying that we need to revisit this. As long as the Christians cannot ask for their own special court for Christians alone, we are raising a state of anarchy and it's a judicial system where the lines are blurred and justice is interpreted based on religious sentiment. In saying this, like now turning up all the other stories around, Nigeria, CPC, whether or not there's Christian genocide, this attack against Christians is this. I want to appeal to this administration. Recall that when the president, for the first time in a very long time, decided to go with a Muslim ticket, these were some of the concerns that were raised.
Yes.
The optics don't look good. You might not say, oh, there's no relation, but the truth is that people raised concerns around this. And if this is exacerbated under this administration, then it speaks very bad about how they've been able to manage Christian-Muslim relationships under this administration.
All right. I mean, we're yet to hear from the judicial authorities on this matter. As soon as we get more information and more details on this matter, we will bring you, our viewers, up to speed. In any ways, they say that Abuja, I'm getting a comment saying Abuja is under the penal code as part of Old Northern Nigeria region. So, I mean, until we see the documents on why this man's shop was seized, we will, make our final conclusion on the story. And we'll continue to bring our viewers up to speed.
Once again, I'm still asking, what is the use of Northern Nigeria to Nigeria as a whole? Because we cannot be saying one Nigeria and then another group is having a different constitution from Nigeria. How does that even make sense? What is the use of Northern Nigeria to Nigeria?
That the Sharia Court of Appeal seized and auctioned his shop to recover a tenant's unpaid debt, despite his possession of title deeds and the tenant's goods remaining inside. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has sparked widespread debate about jurisdictional overreach. Well, let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor gun. Say they are from Sharia Court of Appeal. that their chief litigation and chief registrar has auctioned my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this church in 2012 for our rent. Their first shop in number. I rent one to somebody. They said the person in the shop, he saw it then credit. I told the person owner, why can't you go back his goods? That the goods in that shop. They know nothing about the goods. They say what they know is they want to open that shop. I tell them, they say I should come to the court and tell them if I'm the owner of the shop. I go there. Even though I'm a Christian, I tell them I watch a Christian go to Sharia court. They say I must come if I'm the owner, that they will leave me my shop and take all the documents to them. Even when I reach there, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I auction the shop, that they are doing handover because I'm a Christian, because I'm Igbo, they collect my shop, Sharia court. Even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia court? Don't help me, don't help me, don't help me, Nigeria help me, my life finish you, my life finish you, my life finish you. I do that not enough.
Now this is the kind of country we live in, and you know the funniest thing of all is that I'm surprised that you know, as people from the southern part of Nigeria, there is no outrage over this nonsense. This nonsense called what Sharia court. How do we have a court in Nigeria and then in northern Nigeria they have a fucking Sharia? Yes, it's a fucking Sharia court. And even if you have a Sharia court, it's not supposed to be for Muslim shit only. How does that affect someone that's a neighbor man, is a Christian? He has a tenant. If the tenant has done something wrong, then take it up with the tenant. What the fuck is the business with the owner of the place that you have to go and seal up his business? Fucking Sharia. I don't understand how these Muslims, how you guys even do cope with this shit. And the funniest of all is that many of you Muslims are educated and you don't even speak up. This is totally disgusting and unacceptable. And you guys will say this one Nigeria. When the particular group is wanting to leave, you start antagonizing them and you have this nonsense of a thing going on in your fucking region. Pulling the country back. The country is already backward as it is and then we have nonsense called Sharia court. Why can't the Nigerian court advocate for every single person, whether you are Christian or Muslim? Why does a Muslim have to have a Sharia court? Why? Why? And if you want to have a Sharia court, why can't you make it strictly for your fucking deeds? Yes, because this is fucking annoying. That man is a Christian. How does that affect him as a Christian? That he has to go and seal his own business. Every single thing. A shop that he built with his hard-earned money and he put in tenants there. Go Muslim tenant and the rest of it. If he decides to say, no, I don't want Muslim tenant now, they will see that it's tribalism or religious, whatever. Now, he has both Christian and Muslim tenant there. The tenant that is a Muslim has done shit. Instead of you to take up the shit with your fucking Muslim brother, you are using it to rob the Christian brother that is owner of the whole shop complex there. And if people like us talk like they go say we don't start. Once again, I ask, what is the value of northern Nigeria to Nigeria? Thank you.
I'm an economist and I always talk economics, and we look at the numbers and we look at poverty. If you look at all the poverty indices in the world today, you find that in southwest Nigeria, the incidence of poverty is 20%. In the northwest, it is 80%. The northeast, it's 80%. Why is it that the poorest parts of this country are the Muslim parts?
Wow.
Why is it that in a state that started Sharia in 1999, and we just heard the opening verses today, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. This is the very first verse revealed in the Quran. How come that the state that started Sharia is not the one that is the most educated state? In fact, how come that in that state in 2017 only 24 children got 5 credits in secondary school? How do we define Sharia? How do we define Islam? Illiteracy? Malnutrition? Children on the streets? We have to ask ourselves. And we can't ask those questions until we begin to understand through usul that you have to live in this world well in order to serve Allah for the hereafter. For Islam to prosper, we need educated Muslims. We need Muslims that are not begging. We need Muslims who are standing on their feet. Believe me, if poverty continues in the north, Islam will disappear from the north. The Prophet said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika